Do you enjoy milk? More importantly, can you drink milk without feeling bloated, nauseous, and gassy? If not, you're most likely lactose intolerant. But what exactly is lactose intolerance? Lactose intolerance is a disorder when an individual cannot tolerate or digest lactose optimally. It is estimated that up to 65% of the world's population is lactose intolerant. Lactose is a disaccharide sugar found within milk or milk products. The name lactose is derived from the Latin word for milk, lac, and ose, the conventional name ending of sugars. Lactase is the enzyme responsible for digestion of lactose and is produced and regulated primarily by the LCT gene located on chromosome 2. Gene mutations at this site cause either the enzyme to not be produced or be produced in significantly small amounts that are unable to properly break down any lactose that the organism may consume. In most cases, we are all born with a high ability to produce lactase to help break down the lactose in our mother's milk. After weaning, lactase transcription is typically downregulated, which results in the type of lactose intolerance within most adolescents and adults. However, it is believed that a mutation occurred with the rise of cattle domestication and agriculture around 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. This allowed for lactase to continue being produced at high levels throughout adulthood. This makes sense, as being able to consume milk and milk products in times of war, scarcity, plague, and famine would be a highly advantageous adaptation. The proportion of individuals with lactose intolerance can be highly dependent on geographic region. It is believed that 70% of individuals within Asia and Africa are lactose intolerant, while in Western Europe, less than 30% of the people are affected. So, how does one become lactose intolerant? The two major types of lactose intolerance are congenital lactose intolerance and general lactose intolerance. Congenital lactose intolerance is an autosomal recessive disorder where the child is born without the ability to digest any lactose, therefore born with a mutation in the LCT gene. This is a major problem because, as stated before, we need to have the lactase enzyme so we can digest and process the lactose from our mother's milk. Babies with this genetic disorder need to be given unique lactose-free formula, otherwise severe malnutrition and starvation will occur. General lactose intolerance, on the other hand, is significantly more common and is caused by a natural decline of the ability of the LCT gene as we age. The degradation of performance is due to the actions of the MCM6 gene. This gene is responsible for expression via the formation of helicases, which help in replicating DNA strands. Thus, MCM6 acts as a regulatory element for the LCT gene that controls the expression and therefore controls how much lactase is going to be produced. What happens is that the MCM6 produces less and less helicases, thus the LCT gene expression also decreases and we lose the ability to digest lactose-containing foods. However, many of us can still consume dairy products. Why is this so? This is because there are 4 mutations in the MCM6 gene identified so far, meaning there could be more we do not yet know about, that act as a single point mutation or single nucleotide polymorphism. The small mutations have dramatic effects. It means that the MCM6 gene continues to create helicases and therefore continues to regulate the LCT gene in such a way that lactase production is maintained throughout adulthood. Thus, some of us have the luxury of being able to enjoy milkshakes, yogurt, and ice cream sundaes. The variations within the MCM6 that allow continued lactase production are considered to be autosomal dominant, hence why so many of the population can continue to digest lactose as they continue to age. To summarize, lactase is the enzyme responsible for the digest of lactose. People with lactose intolerance produce less or no lactase, resulting in the inability to break down lactose. There are 2 main types of lactose intolerance. Congenital lactose intolerance is evident at birth and is caused by a mutant LCT gene. General lactose intolerance is the most common and is caused by declining ability of the LCT gene as we age. The MCM6 gene also acts as a regulatory agent for the LCT gene.
I'm Brendan, and my group is doing lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance was chosen because it's an interesting topic and it affects a lot of people around the world, so it would be relevant and many people would find it informative. Our group was really great. The people had a lot of initiative. There wasn't always that much communication about who was doing what, but everything that needed to be done got done efficiently and on time, so it worked out well. Overall, the project was a good experience. I learned a lot about the topic since I didn't know much about it at the start, so I'm really glad that I got to do that.
I'm Naomi. We did our video on lactose intolerance and its genetic traits. Personal reflection. Usually I don't enjoy video assignments, but this one actually wasn't too bad in the grand scheme of things. It was interesting. You got to choose your own topic, and majority of our team were willing to put in their fair share of work, which was really easy in the long run to get it done and to get it to be of a, well, we think it's a pretty good quality. I think also the fact that we were willing to try something different instead of just videoing it, we drew stuff, might give us a little boost in the marks and creativity. Probably could have started a bit earlier, but that's really difficult obviously because you have a team of 4 who do different subjects and do different things, and it's hard to get a time for everyone to sort of sit down together and plan it out properly. So overall I think it ended up being a pretty good project, and I'm happy with how we went.
Hey, I'm Oliver, a member of the group that did the video on lactose intolerance. My contributions to the project was the final video topic. I had read about lactose intolerance and its genetic characteristics in previous subjects, and it seemed interesting. I also had a major part in the initial planning phase of the project and was also responsible for the research on the topic and the writing of the final script. I really enjoyed the topic and researching information for it. I felt like our group communicated well and had a good plan. I feel that we all learned something new from the making of this video. However, it was really hard to actually work on the video together as we all had very difficult and different schedules, so it was hard to meet up, and this resulted in our final presentation style, which was stop motion and was flexible for our schedules. Cheers.
So I'm Claire. I was in the group doing lactose intolerance, which was chosen because it was an interesting topic and it affects so many people. My main role in the group was putting together the actual video, so I did the voiceover and then put the images over the top. We had a bit of a slow start because it was difficult to coordinate a time for us all to meet up, and I don't think anyone really wanted to volunteer to take control of organisation. But our group worked really well in the end. The stop motion worked really well for us because we didn't have to all meet up to do filming, and no one was really keen on being on camera anyway. And even though it was a late start, most people put in their fair share of work when it was needed, and any deadlines we had set as a group were met. So it wasn't too bad of an assignment, and I'm pretty happy with the result.